I come here and I need 30 minutes to substantiate, and I walk you through the budgets and the statements of accounts of the government to show you how we are being looted. And I've identified 90 billion shillings in ghost allocations, which are these other operating expenses that have got no name. The theft that is happening on the revenue side of things is really scary. Today, money is being moved from the treasury in manners that we don't understand. You will find movements of money, gazillions of money, being moved that are not in the budget. Let us restore the control of money. Let us drain the swamp. We are required to make 2 laws. We made one and made a mess of it. And the country is suffering because of that. Everything else is irrelevant. And when it comes to public money, I will dictate how that public money is to be used. I would rather be thrown out of this house than be part of the scam. There was a proposal to move a bill to help us separate the treasuries at both the national and the county level from the executive, so that we can restore control of money through the elected assemblies and with the use of independent civil servants who enjoy security of tenure to be custodians of the public purse. And the only way money can be moved from the treasury is that it must be in the bill, in the budget, and that it has been approved by the control of budget. Today, money is being moved from the treasury in manners that we don't understand. Mr. Speaker, if you look at the statement of actual revenue and net expenditure issues that is published, that is by law required to be published within 21 days of the end of each month, you will find movements of money, gazillions of money, being moved that are not in the budget. They are going to do things that are not in the budget. Even domestic borrowing, Mr. Speaker, sir, I've never seen domestic borrowing in any budget I've examined since 2010. And yet we borrow beyond $1 trillion shillings of late, beyond $1 trillion shillings domestically without approval of Parliament. Let us restore the control of money. Let us drain the swamp. Then the other thing, the other day I saw our senators and all of us fought very hard to add about 5 billion shillings on the allocation to our county governments. I'm doing an audit of the budget right now. I'm almost halfway done. And I've identified 90 billion shillings in ghost allocations. And the ghost allocations are being called other operational expenses. And in one ministry of Interior, 14 billion is allocated, the largest allocation is for other expenses that are not defined. And yet, we are here struggling over 5 billion, 10 billion shillings, and already 90 billion, if you look at just the budget, reading through the budget, is being misallocated through something called other operating expenses. Which are these other operating expenses that have got no name? We require votes for everything. And if you look at the ministry, you find that they've basically covered everything that is required to be covered. What are these extra expenses? So we have a lot of money being stolen on the revenue side of things. Forget about theft through the expenditure, which is in comparative terms negligible. The theft that is happening on the revenue side of things is really scary.
Would you wish to substantiate immediately? If not, then you can proceed to withdraw that statement.
I've never withdrawn anything in my life.
Order, honorable senators. Order. The member has just stated he's never withdrawn anything in his life.
Yeah.
Allow him to stand by his assertion. Proceed.
And Mr. Speaker, sir, before I substantiate, we must understand that I hope my time is being saved. We must understand that information is immaterial. That's why we are told that in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. It's immaterial. It's spiritual. And I want to begin by partially substantiation there is the money that was given to the Nyota Fund by the World Bank. Where in the budget was it approved? That loan that was given. And going forward, I would request that tomorrow the clerk sets up these instruments. I come here and I need 30 minutes to substantiate, and I walk you through the budgets and the statements of accounts of the government to show you how we are being looted. The country be hooked on, and I do the substantiation online for everybody to see. Not that I give you to decide whether I've substantiated or not.
Senator Omtatah,
yes.
You cannot dictate on how this House proceeds on this matter.
I am an elected representative. I represent taxpayers, and the only reason I'm here is because people pay taxes. Everything else is irrelevant. And when it comes to public money, I will dictate how that public money is to be used. I would rather be thrown out of this house than be part of the scam. I achieve nothing sitting in this house if it cannot control public money. I would rather be thrown out and never be a senator in my life than be part of the scam. I want to do it in the open, on the screens, so that every person in this country can see that I've substantiated how government is engaging us in odious debt, which we have not been approved by Parliament. It's good for us to go back as Parliament, and I will be requesting the leadership of the House to give prominence to the requirement in the Constitution that we have control over public funds, that the power of the purse leaves the presidency and comes back to Parliament, that the power of the purse leaves the governor's chambers or residence and comes back to the National Assembly, to the county assemblies. That way, it's not a manifesto issue. It's an issue that's in the Constitution that requires implementation. Article 225, Clause 1 is very clear. And you have to read it as separately from Article 225, Clause 2. We are required to make 2 laws. We made one and made a mess of it. And the country is suffering because of that. The Treasury was supposed not to be part of any government, supposed to be autonomous and to serve all the governments equally. What happens, Mr. Speaker, the delay is caused because the national government demands on having a full belly and a leftover before it thinks of the county governments. A statement like sometimes the president says that I've given counties money is not part of our anticipated constitutional framework. It's not supposed to be the president to give money to counties. It's supposed to be the independent treasury, upon receiving the budgets, make sure that by 15th of every month, the county governments are served. So, Mr. Speaker, this bill is a good bill. The efforts have been made in the houses, here and in the National Assembly. We have this bill. We are going to pass the money. But we are going to lose control of that money. The money going to the county governments, we are going to lose control of that money to the governors. Because the governors are the treasurers. And the governors will use that money to do as they wish. And at the end of the day, they will come here before our committees, and when they are asked tough questions, they will say they are being extorted. So I really pray that we drain the swamp. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I support this bill.